going on, Halloween fans? My name's Dave McRae. So I just wanted to quickly jump on and basically do an addendum video to my live show from earlier today, episode 246 of McRae Live, where we dove deep into the Halloween news of the day, which was first reported on in Deadline. I was reading about it from Bloody Disgusting, and that news was all about the new Halloween TV series in development from Miramax, and there was a little interview with Mark Helwig, the head of Miramax, where he was giving us some new information on that Halloween TV series. Now, there's not a lot of information there. There's still far more questions than there are answers, but there was enough meat on the bone to get the juices flowing and to start the speculation. And based on what I was reading and based on what he was saying, I came to the conclusion that, well, it looks like the original Halloween is canon, but all the other Halloweens are not canon, very similar to what they did way back in 2017. Now, let me preface this by saying maybe that is still going to be the case, 100%. There's still very little that we know about this, that could still absolutely be what is going to happen. However, as I was making myself some dinner, I was thinking more about this, and I was like, well, wait a minute. He didn't exactly say the original Halloween is canon. And that's important information and very distinct and specific information. And he didn't exactly say that. Now, he didn't not say that, but he didn't say that. And I'm like, I started to think about it a bit more. And so I went back and I reread the article and I thought, wait a minute, maybe the original Halloween is not canon. Let's jump over to the other screen here to that article again and take a quick look at specifically what he has said. So he says here, again, this is Mark Helwig, head of Miramax. He says, the foundation of it, meaning the TV series, is the original film, the John Carpenter movie, the characters of that film, and perhaps a group of characters that we haven't really focused on that much in recent film versions or even in a number of them. He goes on to say, it's a creative reset completely and going back to the original film, as opposed to spitting out of any of the more recent film adaptations. Okay, so you can clearly see why I, and maybe many others, have interpreted that to potentially mean, okay, well, the original film is still canon, because we hear him say, we're going back to the original film. We're going back to the original film. And so, yeah, I mean, and maybe that is still what they're doing. Maybe the original film is canon and they're doing another timeline from the original film. It's entirely possible. Again, we still don't have enough information yet. But thinking about it again and looking at what he's saying, I started to think, well, he didn't exactly say that. And he does, emphasize that this is a complete reset. Well, if it is a complete reset and you're taking that at face value, well, then that would mean that the original Halloween is no longer canon either. But maybe what he means is they're going back to the original as the inspiration, as the foundation, and they're going to use characters in that movie that were created and birthed in that film, like Michael's parents, Judith Myers, Dr. Wynn, Charlie Bowles, Ben Tramer, characters that haven't really been fleshed out all that well, and maybe start to flesh those out. But it's a complete reboot, like a complete remake, right? They're just taking inspiration and using the 1978 classic as the foundation, not that the 1978 film is canon, right? So they are essentially starting from scratch using the original film as a template, as the foundation. We're going back to the original film, as opposed to we're going back to Rob Zombie's films, or we're going back to the H2O thing, or we're going back to, you know what I mean? Maybe that's what he means, folks. Maybe that's what he means. So I just needed to jump on here and mention this because because I do think it's important. It's an important distinction that needs to be made. And maybe that does mean then, if you are starting over completely, which really at this point in the game, it's probably the best thing to do, as much as I don't think we need any of this. It's probably the best thing to do because then you don't pigeonhole yourself and you're not tied down to it. You can kind of maybe have a little more breathing room. Maybe you can create your own version of other characters like Jamie Lloyd, Rachel Carruthers or something, if they wanted to cherry pick or something. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just saying maybe if they go in a certain direction, I'm not sure. But I just needed to quickly jump on, mention it, and put it out there because, again, he doesn't specifically say that it's canon, but he does specifically say it's a complete reset. And maybe he just means we're going back to the original as the template. as the foundation, not that the 1978 film is canon. Whoa. Very interesting and very fascinating. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Jump into the comment section and let me know your thoughts, what you think. And feel free to check out episode 246 of McRae Live as well, because again, we don't know. We don't know which direction they're going in here yet, and anything is possible at this point. But make sure you check out that episode because it was a lot of fun sort of speculating and hearing your thoughts in the chat room as well. My name's Dave McRae. If you want to follow me on social media, you can. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. That'll do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.